Paul Meunier, Sigelman, second class. At the point of graduation from high school, I wanted to get away from home, my father, and so forth. So I decided that Hitler was the biggest thing in the world as a danger. So another fella and I went to Chicago and we signed up to enlist, except I had to get the signature of my mother and my father. So I went to J.V. Foster and I said, "You're my mother, sign." And Donald Hamlin, "You're my father, sign." And I took that to Chicago, and I was in the Navy. I was sent to boot camp at Great Lakes, and I put in the number of weeks in boot camp. I was a company commander for a company, and Joe Uhase was the company commander of the other one, and we both graduated from there. And then they said, "Line up." Right between my school head buddy, they said, "He's going to PT boat, and you're going to the Hornet or Norfolk." And that was it. I got on a train and went to Norfolk, Newport News, and got on the Hornet. The Hornet was just getting ready for a shakedown cruise. Hornet was brand new. Oh man, that was fabulous. That was great. And then I had an accident or something like that. And I went to the hospital and I lost my appendix. And I watched the Hornet stream out from Norfolk, and I almost cried. I said, "There goes my home," you know. So then Hornet came back, and we put Doolittle's, two of Doolittle's bombers on, and we went out and they practiced taking off from the Hornet to find out if it was reasonable. They had already practiced at Eglin Air Force Base to take off and land, but now they did it from the ship. And that time the only scare we got was a submarine, and they sort of squelched that. From there we went down the coast south and went through the Panama Canal. And when we got to the west side of the Panama Canal, which is farther east than the west side, but then when we got there, now hear this, there will be no liberty. So we didn't get any liberty in the Panama City, or Colón, or whatever. No liberty. We went from Panama Canal up the coast to San Diego, and we parked alongside of whatever they call the hill just outside of North Island. Parked there, and we went out then and tested 39 rooster buffaloes. And the rooster buffaloes failed the test. They either plopped in the ocean on the takeoff, or they plopped in the ocean on the landing, or they smashed them up. I think there was only 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 39 or 40 rooster buffaloes that lived through it. And so we went back, and at that time you got rid of them, and then it was another 2 or 3 days they sent us to Alameda Naval Air Station. We got to the Alameda Naval Air Station, and that's when they loaded 16 B-25s in the night. They did it at night. The whole thing was done in the darkness on the floor. In the morning, we took off early in the morning, slight fog, but no rain, and we went underneath both bridges. You couldn't hardly see the bridges. So nobody hardly could see that we were leaving with those B-25 bombers on our deck to go through. And then we turned, when we got out of ways, we turned north. We went north about, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40 miles, whatever it was. And a plane dropped our orders on the deck. Came over, dropped the orders, and they landed on the deck. And that's when the captain and the crew opened up the orders and found out that we were headed toward Japan. I was stationed, I was a signalman apprentice, like. So I was probably first class seaman, first class seaman. I hadn't made it yet, you know, I was still learning and everything going. And after we went north a ways and then turned, then we were suddenly joined by 3 to 6 cruisers, the Vincent, the Nashville, and several more, plus several destroyers. And we turned and headed for Tokyo. On the northern route, they went up and then across the northern route. And I, at that time, was assigned to the signal group as such. I did signal watches regularly, light, semaphore, and so forth, flags, whatever. The guys were extremely happy, extremely exhilarated. They were gung-ho. They wanted all of it. And anybody that I knew that said that this was too dangerous a mission, they all said, we'll take them and we'll do it. Every one of them. None of them backed down. Did they have any trouble with, what do you call it, crew attitude or anything like that? Nothing. We got within 600 to 650 miles or less. And all the guys in my crew were for continuing to go on. But the Nashville and the Vincennes, or one of those cruisers on our left, the word I got, I was on the bridge at the time, and she fired 595 rounds of ammunition in 5 or 6 minutes, and she knocked that, we don't know what, I didn't know what it was then, but they say that it was a picket, Japanese picket boat. I never did believe that. I thought it was a fishing boat or something like that, and that we could have gone further in or something like that. More. I figured that we should have gone more, but they didn't. They decided that that was it. They were going to take off. And that's when Doolittle and his guys, they threw everything off of the plane. I was on the bridge up here looking down on all of this. I watched the whole bit. And the guys would go in there and take it out, and if it wasn't required for the plane, one of their officers or sergeants would start yelling at them to get that thing off of there. Yeah. Drop them off, clean them off, and the flight deck crew would be cleaning up everything to get them out of the way.